It's time for Quick Draw. Get out your tickets now. We're playing Quick 2, 3, and 4. Good luck!
Views and comments expressed by the hosts, their guests, callers, and advisors on Eye of the Nation are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Eye of the Nation is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Eye of the Nation is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2026. All rights are reserved.
Hello. Welcome to Eye on the Nation. I'm Levan Miller.
I'm Sandy Brown. I feel
Nice
like I
slick
can't
back,
get
by the
this.
way.
Nice what?
Slickback.
Thank
There you
you.
go. Pimp name Slickback.
It's my grade 12 ode to my
You
high
actually
school.
do look like
I look younger.
debutante Sancheska almost. It's kind of how you do look. Now that you, that
It's my, because in high school you couldn't wear weave, so it's like my hair just used to literally be like this, or, we started wearing our hair at the top and the fan thing. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then it was a Chinese sticks era.
It's interesting. It's new.
It's
And so I
different.
wanted to let you know that I noticed your newness.
Oh.
But a sad weekend.
Listen, I can't even begin.
It is the English definition of the word unfathomable.
It's just the only word that I could describe this weekend, this holiday, is just heavy.
Horrid.
Heavy. Like it was just one thing after the next, after the next, after the next. And it was like when you thought the story couldn't get any sadder. When you thought something else couldn't happen, something else happened. And then besides, obviously, the plane crash, what obviously we're going to get into, there were other things that were still going
I
on
get
that were also sad and heavy. And it was like...
It's certainly life in a newsroom. And, I tell people all the time, people ask, what is it like to be working in a studio? Well, I'll tell you, you have to engage the news every day.
Yeah.
And then when you engage the news every day, you realize that there are some very sad things that happen every day that many people walk around entirely unaware of, entirely unbothered by, and many times those things are not calculated or factored into your everyday going on as a normal person. People like us, we don't get that luxury, right?
I know.
So no matter how I want to escape, right?
Because I told producer that. I was like, I really don't want to talk about this
No
today.
matter how
And
much
she
I
was
want
like,
to
you have to.
go to the watering hole and do the things I enjoy, nope. Because people actually, and this is where I feel the weight of doing what it is that we do for the people that do not exactly understand the magnitude of what we do. I have to always be locked in.
Yeah, you have to find out information. You can't just turn it off,
Right. Right.
Even when I was working in the newsroom, you couldn't turn it off
Right.
because you had to know the information. Then when I stopped working in the newsroom, it was like, I don't have to watch the news. I don't have to pay attention.
Yeah.
I don't have to find out what the latest information is. But then now I'm doing this,
Right.
and it's like, you have to know because there are people, our nationers are dependent on us to give them whatever the latest information is. And whether you want to talk about it or not is something that you have to do.
And I also said to another front-facing person over the weekend, I said, listen to me. Because they started to take off in an emotional rant, and I told them, you don't pay me for my advice, so you could always tell me to go and fly a kite somewhere, right? You do not get to do this. This emotion that you are having, you have to go and hide with it because you are a front-facing person. And
it's easy to say that, but you do get emotional
the
sometimes.
society depends on people like us to stay locked in. It is to be impartial, it is to be unbiased, and it is to be without emotion. They depend on us.
I think they realize that we have emotions.
But they
sometimes.
depend on us for the unadulterated
You can't say that because you be emotional about some stuff.
Yes, but but not to the point where I am becoming tyrannical and irrational. And you have to simply
We have no clips we could play back with him becoming irrational when he emotional.
Irate,
I think you was forget.
But you have to say to yourself that the confidence of the society rests on our shoulders, and as a consequence of that, despite what I feel, because I have personal feelings about this, that if you have a drink with me in my backyard, I could maybe tell you. But
I think we have a little leeway on the show too, because it's not.
It's not news.
It's not news.
It's
so
not
we do
news.
have a little leeway,
Yeah.
and I think that our nationers expect us to have an opinion.
Agreed.
I think they also realize who we are. They'll say Levin is more logical, Sani is more emotional, even though I've seen this man be emotional
But we owe a duty of care to, at the end of the day, once the pendulum has swung, to always come back to our access. That is.
Yeah, I think we find our way back.
That is what we must do.
I think
and so,
we do.
We shall do more of that right here today on Eye on the Nation.
Yeah, we'll get into everything that happened over the holiday weekend and things that continue to happen when we come back right after this.
Eye on the Nation will be back right after these messages.
Vibes is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the vibes back. At BTC, we understand your vibes because we live it. That's why we are dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You are at the heart of everything we do. Our commitment is to keep your vibes flowing, no matter what.
Bring your brand into focus and make your impact on the nation. Go all in with the Impact Bundle, featuring live liners and an in-studio interview. Prefer targeted reach? Audio plus digital delivers radio and digital placements. Or be seen with our television bundle with 20 TV ads across broadcast and streaming. Call 4-666-173. Eye on the Nation.
Okay, guys, this is what we doing today. We training for the bounce back. This 150K payday. Y'all ready? Yes. Y'all sweating today. Give me a 2 ball. 10. Give me another 2 ball. 15. You spin, right? It don't look so. It's 10K. Name these games after me. Food Dragon.
Food Dragon.
Cinema Classic.
Cinema Classic.
Yeah. Put that parlay in. Put that in. You know, Jalen Brunson disappointed us last time. You want to walk for this or you want to run for this? Good pace. Good pace. Not too much water. Put it down. Let's go.
It's the Bounce Back 150K payday. Big wins for 10 weeks straight. 15K every week. 10K to a lucky winner. Visit islandluck.com for more info. Island Luck. Winners live here.
Welcome back to Eye on the Nation.
Hello, welcome back to Eye on the Nation. I'm David Miller.
And I'm Sani Brown. All
I
right.
tell you, I figured it out. I was trying to figure out this whole time you sat here, right? And it hit me just now. You look like Wendy.
Who, Wendy?
Is it Wendy or Sunday? What the woman name of the girl of the Addams family? Wednesday.
How do I
like
look
you have a little Wednesday jazz going on. I realize it's the black fingertips, the black lips, the black eyes, the black lashes, little polka dot black shirt. You onto something.
Ooh,
The whole time you sat here, I said, who does she look like? You look like Wednesday.
with Canoe, Bahamian businesses, I'm not going to let you do it to me today. We have a long
true.
show.
It's true.
Bahamian businesses can access their funds right at home, enjoy faster payouts, process payments 24/7, and move money at your convenience. Bahamian business owners can accept payments online with Canoe. Explore Canoe's API and invoicing features to get paid locally and internationally. Canoe is a Bahamian fintech helping local merchants accept payments fast and easy. And Canoe empowers entrepreneurs to get paid quickly and to grow.
For all your everyday needs, check Canoe.
All right, so they said there's no doubt he's very smart, but you two are Sani. That's why we like y'all. Y'all have different views. That's what makes Eye on the Nation #1. Sani, you look official today with your hair pulled back. What official means? Smart?
It means official.
I don't know what official
that have
means.
a dictionary definition. Oh, but official has a dictionary definition.
I don't know what that means, but okay. Morticia. I don't think he meant Morticia.
No, Morticia have long flowing hair.
So
Can't
did
be
Wednesday.
Morticia. Sometimes, but you remember sometimes she used to do the little wrap it up in the bun thing.
Okay, Sani, you look lovely out here. Thank you guys. This is I couldn't get a hair appointment, and so my hair's in one.
You should just say you should just say we are a nation in mourning.
And that's why my hair's in one?
Yes.
We are a nation in
You
mourning,
gotta
but it has
say
nothing to do with my...
And so as a consequence, I've decided that I would
No, I won't play with people's feelings
not
like
play
that.
with their feelings, but you have to don't say I couldn't go to the hairdresser, Francesca.
No. I
Oh, before we start,
I
you have to
couldn't
do
get-
this. You have to say hello to the boys from BPL.
Hi,
Hold on,
boys
what
from
time is
BPL.
it? Is it
Not
four-
those boys from BPL who had me off it.
4:30. Listen, they're doing the very best.
Oh, we can talk about BPL in a second. BPL lucky they didn't make it to the rundown, only because we have so much things to go off. But I was to work for 2 minutes and zoom.
They are now officially driving me to drink. No, I'm not
You was
joking.
off too.
No, because they keep cutting off my power, and the only place I know where the generator is the Baja. I don't know anywhere else. None of my friends have generators. Okay.
Anyway.
Let's get into it.
All right. So let's jump into everything. I guess we're going to start off with the 300 teachers. A lot of people had mixed feelings about this. So did I. You know, we talked about the teacher shortage before. I specifically know a little bit about what some of the teachers are going through because my sister's a teacher, so I know some of the things that she had to go through in order to become and when she was transitioning from the private sector into the public sector. I know how long it takes. We also interviewed and we spoke to, through Eyewitness News, Belinda, and she was talking about a lot of the teachers that were waiting to be hired. And then the government comes out and was like,
But was it the governor or was it the fellow who we invited to the party?
it was Chester, eh?
No, it was the Ghanaian man who said...
Chester, say...
Well, that's after the Ghanaian man say, well, 300 teachers are excited to be coming to the Bahamas. But Chester said, well, nah, God, he said something.
Well, in case you didn't know, so the government is welcoming an offer from the government of Ghana to assist with the recruitment of up to 300 teachers as the country works to address the shortage in the system. So Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education Chester Cooper said the ministry currently faces a shortfall of about 300 teachers due to retirements, contract expirations, and an increased demand in specialized areas. The ministry said Bahamians will be given first priority to fill the vacancies, while international recruitment efforts will allow for strict procedures, including qualification checks, vetting, cultural sensitivity training, and orientation. So he said in the statement from Chester Cooper, he said the task force is actively implementing strategies to attract Bahamian educators, including trying to get some of these recent retirees back, recent graduates, and people who previously left the profession and now desire to return.
Right.
Now, the issue that I have with the teachers is as far as I know, I've not heard anyone say that we have 300 teachers that are in waiting. So if we need 300 teachers and we have about 50 to 100 Bahamian teachers, I would hope that those teachers get hired first before the Ghanaian or wherever else these other teachers are
Can I
going to
ask
be
a
coming
question?
from. Sure.
Do you think your sister would be happy with them bringing back the retired teachers? Because I don't think she would. But do you
No.
think- Okay.
I feel like
so they
first
don't want
priority,
that.
I think first priority should be given to the recent graduates
Right.
and teachers that are already in the system that are trying to go elsewhere.
Yeah, but-
because there are teachers who, for example, I know teachers who have been assigned to other classrooms
Sure.
because they're saying that the class or the grade that they originally
available.
applied for is not available.
Sure.
So clearly clearly, if you need 300 teachers, one of those grades have to be available now. So first priority should be given to those teachers that
are they? Because some of them may be like Family Island billets.
But even if, give me an opportunity and then let me say, okay, yes, I'm willing to relocate to an island.
Okay.
But if I've been waiting now as a teacher to be in the position that I want to be in, let's just say you have me in preschool and I'm supposed to be a primary school teacher, or you have me in primary school and I'm supposed to be a high school teacher. If this is now open, first priority should be given to me.
I want to ask you another question. You get a production job right now today. I say to you, I need a production lead. I need a cameraman. I need someone that does interviews, right? Isn't your top 3 pick quite possibly Janae Noel, Devontae Hanna, and I don't know who you'd get on cameras? You know why? Because they have institutional knowledge.
But they're all
so you're talking about the graduates, right?
I think the graduates should be second.
But the government don't know those people.
But at some point you have to hire me.
I don't disagree.
The government don't know these people from Ghana
So
either.
I'm saying to you that, see, I want behemoths to be very cautious what they ask for, right?
Okay.
Because if you talk about familiarity, then what you have just invited the government to do is the one thing that behemoths have said always that they hate being done, which is bringing back retirees. So if the teachers are going to say to me that they are comfortable with 100, 200, 150 retirees coming out of retirement, because I ain't comfortable with that.
No, but I'm saying that they shouldn't be first pick. First pick should be teachers who are already in the system who are waiting to be moved to whatever classrooms they want. Second pick should be
the retirees, because that's who the government knows.
No, second pick should be the recent graduates. I've been in school and I just...
But they're strangers to the government's
Not the
employment
point.
system.
You've already retired.
Right.
Why is it that you keep bringing these 60, 70, no offense to these people at all, because I'm sure they have experience, but why would you bring them in before bringing in somebody new and fresh?
Because I know Mr. Mills and Mr. Mills.
And Mr. Mills been teaching.
Years.
Mr. Mills been teaching the same way for 60 years, and now we have new people with new ideas, younger people who could probably reach these students more.
28 days every year.
How do you know that?
She can get pregnant twice.
How do you know that?
I'm just saying. I don't know it.
Exactly.
What I do know is that Mr. Mills and Mr. Mills is 80 years.
Mr. Mills is 80 and he needs to retire, which is why he retired. So why bring him back before you bring the graduate?
Because Mills tell the government, I got 5 good years left in me, you know. And you know what I know? I have Mills's track record to run on. Listen, you and me ain't disagreeing, you know. I want retired people to stay home. I'm saying to you, though, that
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Teachers have to be very cautious, right? Because when you start having this argument that the government don't know the Ghanaians and blah, 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 well, the government don't know you with your new COB certificate neither.
And I just want to say this. Mr. Mills is just a name we throwing out there before Mr. Mills call here or somebody say, we don't know no Mr. Mills, okay?
The only Mr. Mills I know is the one who 2 hand get blow off my granddaddy say.
What? Teachers who are already in the system, graduates, retirees
have to go
foreign
before
teachers.
graduates.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Why
You've
would
already
I take
retired.
a 24-year-old that I know nothing about?
And see, this is why a lot of young people, when they graduate, they do not want to come to the Bahamas. Because it makes absolutely no sense for you to keep hiring retirees before you hire me.
Why would I pick you first? And I know nothing about you. Versus Mr. Mills who ain't missed a day of school in 38
Because
years.
Mr. Mills is 80 and he is slower now. Mr. Mills probably don't even know how to use a computer. He's still writing on the chalkboard. Mr. Mills needs to stay home. His arthritis acting up, and he probably have
give him
gout.
Downstairs classroom.
He probably have gout. Mr. Mills needs to stay home. If they don't have enough new teachers or teachers in the system to fill it,
we go get Mr. Mills.
Let's go bring Mr. Mills.
Okay.
Mr. Mills should never be first choice.
Okay, I'm just wondering because
as a young person, how would I feel? I would never be getting the opportunity because y'all keep bringing
They say
Mr.
that this
Mills
is an
back.
immediate need, right? They don't want the Ghanaians, right? So y'all want Bahamians. Well, according to what I understand from what the Deputy Prime Minister said, well, we are also inviting retirees. I am telling you, the point I am making is y'all equally don't want that.
Well, they would prefer the retirees over the foreigners.
Let me tell you why you ain't want that. Retirees get end up in the line ahead of you.
Well, Belinda, of course, you know, she wasn't taking this sitting down. We all knew this.
I think she's creating an unnatural level of anxiety, in my opinion. And I love the president, but
she says it's egregious and highly offensive.
Egregious and highly offensive.
That was the words that she
Very
used.
interesting English words.
And she said she first heard about it through social media. It wasn't a conversation, I guess, that her and Chester had beforehand at the table when they were sitting down. And they had that nice photo with them
They
sitting
was having
down.
the picture over champagne. My man posted to his Facebook page. Chester said, well, Jesus Christ, now I have to say something. Imagine me and you go and have drinks. I said, boy, Sonny, you know something? When we come out, we should paint the studio red, right? You go and say, red has always been the color that kept me so alive. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow morning, Eye on the Nation in red. Well, now, ILTV got to make a statement. You follow the point I'm making? We didn't know little Ghanaian boy was going to go on the, we didn't know he was that trigger happy.
Mr. John Mills is a retired teacher who is actually about 80 years old. He's a real person and in perfect health. We just picked a name.
Yeah.
We're not...
The Mr. Mills I know, he two hand get blow off when he tried to stick a dynamite.
Y'all please don't let Mr. Mills think we're actually talking about him. I don't even know a Mr. Mills. And I don't. These people say arthritis gout and y'all what? This is a fit. Let's please change the name. I think no matter what name we change. Well, anyway, Belinda say it ain't happening, and she said she questioned how the government could be negotiating overseas recruitment when they still at the bargaining table. And I'll say this. The government probably thinking just like this. And y'all probably ain't gonna like it, but it's the truth. Why deal with Belinda and her 50,000 requests when the Ghanaian government, they ain't want that much? I don't even have to pay them that much. They just happy to have a job. Yeah. They ain't gonna stress me out like Belinda and the teachers that are part of her union. They're not gonna strike. They're not gonna. No, I'm just saying, this is probably their thinking. Like, why deal? Why should I have to deal with Belinda and the noise and the ruckus that she starts when I could deal with the Ghanaian government and these new teachers who just happy to have a job?
She have a Bahamian passport, right? So we said
I'm saying this.
No, I got you.
Yes.
But
I'm not saying that's how I feel.
I'm saying to you, Becca Wu, if I'm not mistaken, literally just got a pay increase percentage for its union people and all sorts of wonderful pay raise and increment raise in the Becca Wu agreement, right? Mm-hmm. So it ain't like teachers ain't getting nothing. I know about you. I went to Jordan.
They ain't
I didn't go to Jordan. Medea, one is better than zero.
To Mr. Pookie, you know Mr. Pookie.
One is better than zero every day of the week. You agree? So if I had $0 for 7 days and you give me $1 for 7 days, I'm now 700% better.
They ain't getting nothing, no.
Listen what I'm saying to you, though. I'm saying that Becca Woodham they just get this new agreement.
I understand that, but I still don't even think it's enough. If have you ever had a conversation with a teacher?
Listen, they're my friends, and every year, you know what I commit myself to doing? Getting at least 4 or 5 of them their full supplies or their classrooms decorated every year.
You have to.
And I've done it for 5 years or so. What I'm saying to you is I understand exactly where they are. What I'm also saying to you, though, right, is, man, you can't say I ain't doing nothing if I do something.
I understand that, but do more is what they're saying.
Jesus,
and you have to be more. When you have teachers, and I have to use, the only person I can use, for example, is my sister, because I know this firsthand.
Yeah.
When we go in the store and we got to buy, she say, okay, this for the house, this bleach for school.
I agree.
This joy for the house, this for school. She got to buy snacks for school.
Why she buying bleach for the school?
Because they didn't have no cleaning supplies. Or they only have one set of cleaning supplies, and the cleaning supplies end in February, and you have to write a whole memo, and it have to go to to 50 different people for you to get cleaning supplies.
You should try getting toilet paper.
Exactly. She has to buy toilet paper too. And that's not in addition to the things that she has to put up in a classroom, that she has to print, design, and do herself. These are things that come out of their pocket. Hold on.
This anxiety come from?
This is on top of them not making any money, and the money that they do have to make, they pumping it back into their classrooms or pumping it into their students, because some of the children come into school and they ain't have nothing to eat.
Again, call
they
the
have the
Minister of
breakfast
Social
program
Service.
now.
She's doing a wonderful job. What I'm saying to you is this, right? Becca Wu just got their agreement. Mm-hmm. They got the pay increases, the increment increase, etc., etc., etc. Right? I don't know what is creating the anxiety in the minds of Bahamians with the Ghanaians other than they Negroes. Nothing else is standing out to me. I went to Prince William Baptist High School. My teachers were...
Private school.
My teachers were
private school.
Mr. Holdsworth, Miss Greaves, Miss Ricketts. You tell me when you hear one Bahamian name now.
School.
I'm saying to you that this scene and the government high school had British teachers.
Private school.
Government high school had British teachers.
That is not. I do not have a problem with foreign teachers. I do not think that Bahamians, right-thinking ones, have a problem with foreign teachers. I think the problem is we have teachers who saying that they are waiting to be hired. Hire them first. Let's hire them first. Can we agree?
Sure.
The teachers who here waiting to be hired, let's hire them first. The teachers that are waiting to be in the classrooms that they want to be in, let's move them first.
Sure.
Then bring back, are we still saying Mr. Mills?
Other Mr. Mills.
Other Mr. Mills.
Right.
Bring
Not
back.
the one you all know.
Yeah. Because I didn't even know Mr. Mills was real. Bring back other Mr. Mills, right? And then if there is still a shortage, let the people come from somewhere else, but it should not be the first thing that you do.
No,
Bahamians should be first.
I don't disagree.
Right.
Now, here's the next question I want to ask. If it's June, it's July. It's July.
It's July.
When you want me to start this process?
This process should have already been started.
That's my point. And so now Chester, remember now, you just had election in May. Chester just became the minister 8 weeks ago.
Yeah, Chester just became the minister, but the ministry is still full of the permanent secretary and everybody's still there.
So Glennis obviously had some other plan, because I never hear about this Ghanaian plan while Glennis was in the chair.
Well, obviously now, in Chester defense, they never said it was for the upcoming school year. They never said what the plans are. They said they have accepted the help. They didn't say when the help was supposed to come.
And I feel like, and again, this is why the Madam President, I cannot march behind her on this one. Because you know who I'm willing to bet will be out there buying in the school to the ground when the teachers them short come September 1? Put in the bills in.
I used to sell my lunch to the teacher and classmates, and I used to bring 2 juices. You're supposed to give it to them, not sell it.
All I'm saying is,
give it to them, you don't sell.
Listen, we are in unnatural times. We have to reach for unnatural solutions.
I don't disagree. I think you and I are on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I'm saying is, the ones that are here, let's give them the tools that they need. These teachers should not be struggling the way that they struggle every year. They are not giving them enough leave-in. From every year, even some corporate Bahamas, and thank God for them. I see some of them have already started one. I'm not going to call that in particular, but I like what they're doing. They had a thing, and it was like, teachers, put your Amazon cart in here. And I guess they're going to pick one of the teachers and buy the things that they need. I should not have to be begging every year for money to buy stuff for a classroom.
Okay.
Can you at least make sure I have tissue?
I agree with that. I agree with
some little bleach?
You should go work for the Ministry of Agriculture. Ain't no tissue there neither.
So tissue is a problem in government or no?
Tissue got government in the chokehold.
We're going to be back right after this, y'all. Much, much, much more. This might be the last time we laugh for the whole show, so enjoy it. It's about to get very sad after this. We'll be back, y'all.
Eye on the Nation will be back right after these messages.
Vibes is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the vibes back. At BTC, we understand your vibes because we live it. That's why we are dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You are at the heart of everything we do. Our commitment is to keep your vibes flowing, no matter what.
Bring your brand into focus and make your impact on the nation. Go all in with the Impact Bundle, featuring live liners and an in-studio interview. Prefer targeted reach? Audio plus digital delivers radio and digital placements. Or be seen with our television bundle with 20 TV ads across broadcast and streaming. Call 4-666-173. Eye on the Nation.
We all know there are ways we can help. Your help can go even further. Be an everyday superhero. Donate to Hands for Hunger.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods. Taste the difference.
Good luck!
Welcome back to Eye on the Nation.
Hello, welcome back to Eye on the Nation. I'm Levan Miller.
And I'm Sandy Brown. Okay, let's jump back into, let me read some of the comments before we move on. Somebody did make a good point. The qualifications and preferences available of Bahamian teachers do not always correspond with the subjects and locations where vacancies exist.
Location.
That is true.
I know that's a huge
I think
deal.
you said it, I don't know if it was during the break. Sometimes relocation is an issue.
Right.
Sometimes Bahamian teachers, well, Nasuvians don't want to go to the family islands for whatever
And sometimes
reason.
teachers don't want to come back. So you have a teacher who is an English teacher. We need her, but you transfer her to Bimini.
Yeah.
She didn't live in Bimini for 6 years. She ain't coming back. She didn't find love. You know once you find love.
Oh, jeez. Well, in any event, I just hope they have it worked out. I hope teachers get first preference. Bahamian teachers get first preference. I hope the teachers who are in the system get first preference. I see somebody say the teachers who graduate don't have no experience. How are we supposed to get experience if you don't hire us? And they do have experience, because I don't know if you know the rigorous program that government puts teachers through. You could be a teacher in the private school, and that doesn't translate into being a teacher in the government school.
Sure.
You need to get a teacher certificate, and then you have to do internships. Well, I don't think they call them internships. What they call them? But they said to be in the classrooms with other teachers.
Teachers aid.
Yes.
Pupillage.
You have to do all of that before. It is much easier to be a teacher in the private school system than in the public school system, by the way, FYI.
Right.
So they put them through a lot of rigorous training. So all this rigorous training, I should be able to be in a classroom by myself
Did you
after
just
I
ask the
graduate.
Baptist how we've been doing it? Because I tell you, I had one English teacher too, Reverend.
Don't call these teachers names, please.
I could call Reverend Fernandez. He's my red religious teacher. I could call his name.
All right.
And Miss Adley, God rest her soul. They was the only two Bahamian teachers I had.
Okay. Well, we got to come off of that. Hopefully, we know Belinda going to say something. So we're going to see in the next coming days.
I want the president to agree one thing for me. Let's don't just want row. Like, let's want fix this problem.
Okay.
I think this is one of those things that requires reaching across the divide, no matter where your interests are, for us to come to common ground. And if we do that, because I don't think justice is unreasonable.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. Let's move on to another sad event that I don't think this one happened over the weekend, though, if I'm not sure. Did it? I think this happened sometime last week. It was a hit and run, or was it on the weekend? Anyway, I feel like all of these days are kind of rolling into one since Thursday. But I think it was between Thursday and Friday. Y'all could let me know in the comments or when we listen to the story. But Ryan Basden was struck by a hit and run driver, and the family is asking the public for help in identifying who the person was. I think this was 2 hit and runs that happened over the weekend. The other one we're going to talk about in a second. I think that one the police ended up shooting and catching one of the suspects, but unfortunately I think that guy also passed away. But the family is asking anyone who was in the area, business owners, surveillance cameras, everybody have Ring camera now, if somebody has any information to come forward, because so far no arrests have been made. I do think that we have a clip of that from Eyewitness News that we're going to play.
Family members of 43-year-old Ryan Basden breaking down moments after exiting the Princess Margaret Hospital morgue. Once they viewed his body, Basden was killed in a fatal hit and run. He was struck, and his family members say they are calling for answers.
His love. I don't want to wonder my brother is love.
Everyone love my brother. My brother, I tell you, my brother's my heart. Everyone love him. That guy is a good person. Anyone can tell you that. He's not a problem. You understand? No one will reach out to Jai. They have all the cameras, and we holding the cameras, and all I'm saying, he got struck and killed in the front of over 20-something cameras. You understand? You tell me someone have to know. If I could go and see the gray Jeep, you think if I could see this gray Jeep and know it from the information, I talked to the neighbors. A neighbor of mine was outside at the time of the incident and watching the police haven't come and talk to them. You understand? The police haven't come and said, I went door to door and talking to people, and they told me next day and say, we heard the Bram. So when we heard the Bram, we ride, we run out in the gate, we see him in the road, we see the Jeep pull up. You understand? The cameras have it, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was apparently on Taylor Street. I know after that, there were a lot of rumors. I think the police had to put out a statement. There were rumors that a police officer had turned himself in connection with that. And I think the police sent out a statement and said that is not true. They do not have anybody in custody. And the police had nothing to do with this.
Yeah, this is actually,
I don't know where that rumor came from, but that spread like wildfire.
Yeah.
So the police, see people saying it in the comments too, is that the hit and run by the officer.
Yeah, the police force has issued a statement since.
Yes.
But I think this is a wonderful opportunity to make a plug for ACP Chivago Dames, right? So you know that all of the cameras that are on the perimeter of your house, you can actually register with the police camera monitoring center.
Okay.
Yeah, so people who live in these communities, right? I'm not saying give them your doorbell camera, but if you have like perimeter, like I have cameras on each side of the perimeter of my property, those ones, you follow me?
Yeah.
And so we invite people to do this. You call 919, you tell them, hey, I want to put my perimeter cameras on the police monitoring system. And that way when the police or something happens in your community, the police doesn't have to necessarily call you for the footage.
Knock on the door.
They could literally just go right to their system, check the date and the time. They're not going to be intrusive or invasive. Chivago Dames, I think, has built a system that operates with a wonderful level of confidentiality. And this is how we develop a nation.
I don't know if a lot of people are just going to let police have access to their camera footage.
The camera that watching my western border, you can't see when two hands pull up in that.
Yeah, no, I know if I'd register my camera, I probably would be like... I don't even
watching my neighbors.
No, I know, I probably would just give them the footage if they ask for it.
Yeah.
But I know if I want them to have access...
So there are personal spaces, right? Where you don't want them to have access. I don't want you monitoring my doorbell.
But how do I know once I give you permission that that's the...
Because they only have the IP for the camera that you gave them. The camera has an IP, yeah. So you give them the IP off of that camera. They plug it into their system. They're able to monitor the roadway. And don't you want the police to have the footage? What if they kill you? And you...
yeah, well, then they could come for the footage.
So who can give... How if you dared with the password?
Somebody got it.
Oh boy.
Somebody is going to have it. I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying that
You want to go see Chivago, man?
I know if I got... I know. I got to think about that.
Your perimeter camera?
I got to think about that.
You don't have a camera that watches the road?
Yeah.
I got 3 watching the road because I like to know what happened in the road.
But you also could see you coming to my house, leaving my house. I don't know.
See, I got to teach you how to point your camera.
I know if that's what I want. But
I got the camera pointing at the neighbor
It makes
house.
sense if that is something that you want to do. I know if I'm doing it.
Right, so if you shot somebody,
me,
I live in Madeira and Seville, right? If you shot someone on Madeira and you sped past my house going towards Seville, my brother, we got you when you're on your way to the calaboose.
Well, the family is saying, if y'all know who it is, let the police know. If y'all have the camera footage, turn it over to police.
Yeah.
If it is you, turn yourself in. Do the right thing.
Absolutely. That's exactly the way I imagine criminals think. Just stop doing crime today.
Sometimes it's not really, sometimes people do things, they get scared, and then go back after.
I had actually heard a little backstory, right? Again, just in the wind.
Okay.
I haven't tested the verisimilitude of the facts, but people were suggesting that because of where it happened, it may in fact be someone that was in fear for their lives, and it may have in fact been someone that may have opted to turn themselves into a police station.
But that hasn't happened.
So I'm saying.
So that's not a part of the story.
So I'm saying to the person that may have done it, that you have where was it?
Taylor Street.
Okay, you could get beat up through Taylor Street. Okay, just in case you don't know. So you tell the police, listen, I hit the man. It was Taylor Street. I thought they was going to kill me. I was speeding so fast, I speeded straight past the Quaco Street police station.
Yeah, I might have by that hours later.
Yeah,
maybe
but
the
after I
next
sped
day,
past all those police stations, now I was scared to come back.
Days later?
I was in fear for my life. Okay. I'm saying that you might have a reasonable reason for leaving the scene of the accident.
Okay.
Go and use that one. See where the police will meet you. They might be prepared to meet you after.
Well, anyway, if y'all know of any information, the family is mourning. Get them some peace. They want justice. If y'all have any information, if you have anything on your cameras, anybody in that area, they're asking you to please, please, please either turn that information over to police or turn the person over to police. Unfortunately, that was not the only traffic fatality that we had.
All right.
You know, and anyway, this one was very weird-ish, I guess. So this homicide turned into a police-involved shooting. So this is what police saying. This happened on Sunday. According to reports, shortly before 8 a.m., 2 off-duty police officers were traveling east along Carmichael Road in a private vehicle when they observed a silver Suzuki collide with a man who was lying on the ground. That sentence was very strange to me. Was the man lying on the ground and they ran
so
over,
over him?
Or did they hit him?
No, so they rolled. So basically what they viewed was him being rolled over.
Right. So so is that okay, anyway, so they said they saw this silver Suzuki collide with a man who was lying on the ground. EMS personnel responded to the scene and examined the victim, a 59-year-old man who was dressed in a dark-colored T-shirt and blue denim shorts. He had sustained what appeared to be severe lacerations and other injuries to his upper body. He was taken to hospital for further medical treatment where he was pronounced dead. Now, following the incident, these 2 off-duty officers pursued the suspect vehicle through Excellence Estates onto Golden Isles Road. During the pursuit, one of the vehicle's occupants discharged multiple rounds in the direction of the officers. The pursuit continued onto Cowpen Road and into the Somerset community where the suspect's vehicle came to a stop. The suspects exited the vehicle, produced firearms, and fired multiple shots at the officers. In fear of their lives, the officers returned fire from their service weapons. The suspects subsequently returned to the vehicle, drove to a nearby dead end, abandoned the vehicle, and fled on foot in the Eastwood area. With the assistance of responding officers, the area was searched, resulting in one of the suspects being located with an apparent gunshot to the lower back. He was arrested, cautioned, taken to hospital by ambulance, where he remains in stable condition. Crime scene investigators processed the scene, recovered a firearm, the suspect's vehicle, the silver Suzuki, and other items of evidential value. The off-duty officer's vehicle was also damaged during gunfire to the right front passenger side.
Yeah. And I'm very thankful. You remember there was a circulation the other day about Madam Commissioner of Police doing an audit, I think, of some sort about those off-duty police officers that are permitted to carry. And I want to say that this is why off-duty police officers carry.
Yeah, because, I mean, yeah.
Because crime has happened all the time.
It also could have gone very wrong, very bad for them.
But you know what they would have been able to have done if they didn't carry? Nothing. They would have been able to just sit there.
No, that's what I'm saying. If they didn't have their weapons on them and they did chase the suspects and they got shot at.
Correct.
Yeah, then.
Correct. And this is why I think all off-duty officers should carry. Not all, but like plenty. A lot of them.
How do you choose?
These 2, give them their gun. And then tell everybody who remind you of these 2, they could have a gun.
Okay.
Yeah. These 2 remind you of the 2 police officers off of Chips.
Who 2? In the back there?
Eric Estrada. I talk about the 2 police in the story. Eric Estrada and what the next with the police did name?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You never used to watch Chips?
No.
What were you doing in the 90s? Remember Eric Estrada used to speed down the trucks on the motorbike and jump in the window and pull down on them and tell them freeze. Chicago police.
All right.
Oh boy.
No. Anyway, hopefully both of these
It is also very sad that this man lost his life in this way.
But they're calling it a homicide, not a traffic.
I'm saying because I'm told that this appears to be more than a traffic fatality.
Because why speed off and shoot at the police? And they could say they didn't know it was the police, to be fair. They were in their private vehicle.
Yeah, but
so they could say
you and this illegal who authorized you to have this illegal gun?
No, I'm just saying after. They could have said, well, we didn't know it was the police. We thought somebody was chasing us.
You just shoot your illegal gun at anybody.
Hopefully.
You could go to the jail. Pookie, y'all are on your way to the calaboose.
Well, hopefully Actually, they already have one person in custody. If
Yeah.
it was me and me
We
and
already
you
know. We already know.
just 27.
Yeah, Pookie, they got blacks. It ain't make no sense you
Yeah,
running for
just
Okay, so
just
it's 4:40. You have to tell the boys from Clifton Pier, because they say they listen to St. Jessica every day. They held me almost at gunpoint. It wasn't a gunpoint. And they said, we can't let you not. They get on the bus at 4:40 every day.
Okay, hi boys at Clifton Pier.
BPL.
Hi BPL boys.
Right. They're on the bus.
That's all they're supposed to say?
They're making their way.
I know if I want to send it to them right now, because
Hey,
power
be nice
off
to
like
them.
that.
Be very nice to them. They are responsible for generation.
But the power was off when I left work.
Tip the
I know.
them. That's the Blue Hill boys. These Clifton boys.
These are different set of boys.
Yeah, this is different. It's
All
other
right.
BPL boys.
So shout out to the BPL boys. I'll also say this. We know that it ain't the workers. But y'all just have to get dragged for the fact that it ain't working.
It is also because they don't listen. Do you know, right here on this show, we told them, right, on the 16th of June, leave the project until November. You remember we said that? The thing was working. You all say you all wanted to do the upgrades, but you all was delayed because the Pike boy get killed. And that pushed you all 8 weeks. Remember that?
Yes.
And you remember right here on this show, I said to you, well, Francesca, just tell them, don't touch it for another 12 weeks and start the work in November. You remember that?
Yes.
Then listen to us. Nah, look. Every time they driving me to drink.
What's the soft hands voice? They said I gotta say it in soft hands voice.
Oh, you have to say, hi boys from BPL.
Hi boys from BPL.
Oh, come. I sure they get $20 worth of drinks right now for you right now.
Please. All right. Say it's hard hat woman with no remorse in her voice. What I mean. Chips was in the 70s. The people say early 80s, not
Boy,
the
I watched
90s.
it in the 90s. I can't tell them when they watch it.
Not the 90s. I only telling you what the
My
people
mom
say.
only meet my pa in the 70s.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So before we move on, some breaking news. Peter Nygaard. I don't know if people still care about him
He's
here.
already in jail. They were trying to put him in the back of jail.
Will he get found guilty of something else?
But he was already guilty.
Yeah, but he's more guiltier.
Jesus.
Is there such a thing as more guiltier?
Any like 80 mid-odd?
You could keep this mid-odd and this stinger. Anyway, so former fashion mogul Peter Nygaard has been found guilty by a Canadian judge of sexual assault and forcible confinement that took place. These charges are related to incidents that took place in Montreal in the 90s. So this has really nothing to do with us here, but you know. The ruling came after Nygaard, who was 84, so that would be mid-odd.
Yeah, he low-odd. He got to be 85 to be mid-odd.
Offered no contest against the evidence that prosecutors in the Montreal courthouse brought on the first day of his trial. So the trial was supposed to be 10 days, and the first day he just was like...
He 80 low-odd. The thing he in jail for now ain't go over for about another 12. What would he be doing in court?
People is fight cases!
Man, he 80
I would tell you
low-odd.
one thing.
I finished with that.
He say, the first day of the trial, he say...
I finished with that type of thing.
Yeah, he say...
More jail, I finished with that.
He say, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So
He's so
he had
mad he
been...
take all them get young pills. Because other than that, he might have been finished with this jail time.
So today was supposed to be the first day of his trial. The trial was expected to last for 10 days. He tell them, don't worry about it. I guilty.
I just getting right back to where y'all already.
Well, he didn't say I guilty. He pleaded no contest. He just wasn't going to fight the charges.
If you all say that's what I do, that's what I do.
So he was sentenced to 11 years in prison for sexually assaulting women in Toronto in the late 1980s to 2005. His last appeal was dismissed in Ontario court earlier this year. His lawyer told the news that her client made a strategic decision not to contest the charges based on his extradition situation. So he also has assault charges against him in Winnipeg, where that was stayed by a judge last year over concerns that his right to a fair trial was breached. He has been accused of using his wealth and influence to systematically assault and traffic women in the United States, Canada, and the Bahamas over a number of decades. So I guess he say, I could be in here for another...
Yeah, court, I finished it, that type of thing.
Well, it might not. Some new charges may come up again. So they didn't say what he was sentenced to, though.
11 years.
That was his first sentence. In this one, what he was sentenced to.
Well, if they just gave him the day. You ain't think they sentenced him today, do
You might as well just wrap it all up in one big bow in one day.
The judge got to go and consider the facts of the case now.
This judge was like, man, come on, they thought they was going to have at least 10,
it
11
takes you 2-3
days.
days to think about this, but no.
Well, no, he said, yeah. Anyway, if anybody was interested in everything that was, you ever been to one of his parties?
I've been to a few. Yeah, I was there a few of them. The drinks were wonderful. The shish kebabs never ran out. It was a beautiful time. The beach was very beachy.
Y'all remember what that Caribbean BET did name? Tempo. Tempo's first party was at Nygaard's.
Yeah, people used to
and
speed.
I went there.
People used to speed their car to Nygaard Key.
I have stories, but I cannot.
Yeah, everybody was going in there. It used to speed there. It was the meatballs were wonderful. The little sliders. Oh,
What kind of sliders?
The little ones, the little beef sliders. Weren't they fantastic? I could tell you this. I had never had sliders like that before in my life.
Production want to know if producer them want to know if you used to be the Diddy body dude.
No.
Pamper parties, you know what? Let me stop talking.
You didn't enjoy the sliders while you were there?
I never been to Nygaard Key.
What about the drinks?
I never been to Nygaard Key.
Have you ever been to a key owned by a Nygaard? Oh boy.
I've never been to Nygaard Key.
Have you ever been to a beach on the western end of the island that was right at the tip that had a big tower on it at some point? No?
Mm-mm.
Okay, very good.
Somebody wants to know if they were better than baby shower meatballs.
Listen to me, yes. And they had tiny little onions in them with a little gravy sauce. It was fantastic. Listen, I could taste them now as I sit here.
Okay, someone say Sonny just said she went there for the Temple party. I didn't say I went there. I said Temple had their party there.
I didn't even know about Temple Party. How did you find out?
I was in media.
So you was in the media?
I went for the Temple party.
Okay, all right.
I was invited as a member of the press for Temple's party.
Okay. Were the meatballs nice then?
I don't remember. I don't recall.
Okay.
Y'all remember Temple? Yeah. Temple was like our version of BT. Temple's still around?
A little bit.
No?
A little bit. A little bit. They are. A little bit still around.
Producers say no.
Yeah. They're on one of those cable flow channels no one watches.
Sonny, who these BPL boys is, I know. The people tell me I must say, and say, don't hit them. Okay, it was too late. I already hit them.
Oh boy.
I already hit them. Sonny, you sure you never watched Chips? No, I can promise you.
I know you never
The
watched.
closest thing that Chips ever watched
All
was
the girls who were
Chip
girls in the
and
90s was excited over
Rescue
Eric
Rangers.
Estrada. Eric Estrada used to be the Mexican police. And what was this?
I don't know. We're trying to kill some time because I don't want to start talking about something serious and then it's
What was the
pretty
name of
much
his
almost 5
what was the name of his
I
had a
think
sidekick.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think you underestimate the power of good meatballs at a baby shop. I make my own. I tell you, I make my own meatballs.
Yeah.
I don't buy like the bag of meatballs and just put barbecue sauce on them. I make my own. It's a very tedious process, but I promise you, it's worth it when you make your own.
That must have been exactly the ones I ate at Nygaard Key.
The ones
Were you
that I
making
made?
them now?
No, I didn't. I don't recall carrying any meatballs.
What about the onions?
The one time that I was there for.
What about the other time when you were there as not
I
the
was
press?
never there.
Okay, all right.
I
And the
was-
meatballs, how did they get there?
What meatballs?
Did you deliver?
You talked about meatballs. I'm saying that. Sonny, look like you've been there plenty of times. How you could tell me where I've been?
Oh, I don't know. Is it okay if I say happy belated birthday to Gerard
Yes,
Dawson?
you can.
Gerard Dawson, happy belated birthday. That's from your co-worker. Let me tell you why I have to do this. I go to the Super Wash on the corner of Carmichael Road.
Uh-huh.
Let me tell you something. The one time in my life I enjoy facial recognition is when I go there. I don't care if I carry 88 bundle of clothes and tell them I won't wait on it. My friend, Shorty is gonna, is that what she named? Shorty? Shorty is the girl who presses.
Okay.
She in the back there sweating and pressing, baby. She's sweating and pressing.
Okay.
And so you can't tell me nothing bad about Super Wash, Carmichael Road.
I don't have anything to say. I've never utilized their pressing services.
And I mean
But
the
shout
one
out to
deep
Shorty.
Carmichael. I mean the one right at Carmichael entrance proper.
Okay.
Yes, my friend. And so Gerard Dawson is a co-worker.
All right.
Not Shorty's co-worker. Gerard Dawson is the cashier lady's co-worker.
Okay.
They want me to say happy birthday to him. And she
Happy
also wants me
birthday.
to say happy birthday, 9th birthday to Chardonnay Farrington. That's her
Happy
granddaughter.
9th birthday
From her
to
mommy,
Chardonnay.
Tiny, and a Grammy. From her mommy, Tina, and a Grammy, Tiny.
All right.
So that's Tiny. So Shorty is Tiny co-worker. And they also happen to be co-workers with Gerard Dawson. You
Your
got that?
stories just get stranger and stranger.
Go there
Sonny,
with a bundle of clothes and you tell them.
Oh, Jesus.
I know Lee one and watch Shorty press 88 bundle of clothes for you too.
Okay. The vibes were nice. Yes, I remember Tempo. They showed some of their shows at Nygaard Key. Yeah. Someone said, Sonny, were was a young, saved woman. Absolutely.
Yeah, serving the meatballs.
I think Temple was channel 47. I know what channel it was.
And listen, and the meatball gravy.
Someone say the vibes were nice, the massages were good, the drinks were flowing.
When you pour the meatball gravy onto your slider, my friend.
Leave-In, you never missed out on anything. I wonder what time you used to make to go to church.
Oh, Joyce made sure I went to church listen, I used to go to church when Jesus reached. You know how I know that? Because every time I get in church around 11:30, the praise and worship leader would say, I can feel the presence of God entering this room right now. So that means me and Jesus pull up to church the same time.
Okay. Someone say, Sani or Shashka went to those parties. I never said I went to those parties. Why do you keep putting words in my mouth?
Did you not say it?
I said I did not go.
You did not go. Did you went?
I didn't I didn't went either.
Okay. Renee, cut off your TV for 2 minutes. We can tell you when to cut it back on.
I didn't went either.
Okay.
You don't know nothing about me?
Now that Renee TV off.
What are you talking about?
Night God Key.
I never been in Night God Key.
Okay.
Why you keep trying to?
What about Lyford Key?
Yes, I've been to Lyford Key.
Very good.
I know about Lyford Key.
Very good. How far along Lyford Key did you drive?
Well, let me tell y'all something, but I can't tell y'all. But they used to come to UB when I was there.
Uh-huh.
They used to have recruiters. And they used to come to like pretty girls and they used to be like, hey, do you want to come to a party? And then they would give you a number and they would text you.
Really?
And they would take your photo.
Really?
And they would take your photo and if...
Yeah. Commissioner, Commish, you listening to this? And what else?
It's time for us to go, y'all. We have serious stuff to talk about. We're just trying to get all that out of the way.
Commish, we almost had her.
And if you were pretty enough, they would text you. Because they would take a photo.
What the car license plate number was?
I never got a text. I guess it wasn't pretty enough.
Oh, boy. Y'all the move, yeah?
We're going to be back right after
She might be in jail. How much years it is? 11?
We're going to be back after this, y'all.
Vibes is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the vibes back. At BTC, we understand your vibes because we live it. That's why we are dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You are at the heart of everything we do. Our commitment is to keep your vibes flowing, no matter what.
Bring your brand into focus and make your impact on the nation. Go all in with the Impact Bundle, featuring live liners and an in-studio interview. Prefer targeted reach? Audio plus digital delivers radio and digital placements. Or be seen with our television bundle with 20 TV ads across broadcast and streaming. Call 4-666-173. Eye on the Nation.
Imagine an event where entry is as effortless as a wristband can. Calling all businesses and event organizers because selling tickets has never been smoother. With Canoe, effortlessly sell tickets online and accept payments via debit cards, credit cards, Canoe Wallet, or even Sand Dollars. From payment links to QR codes, track your sales digitally, making event organization a phenomenal experience. And that's not all. Canoe is giving you more. If you're offering food, drinks, or must-have merchandise at your event, Canoe takes it to the next level. Customers can seamlessly pay using wristbands, QR codes, or their Canoe digital wallet. No more long lines, no more waits. Just happy customers and a boost in sales. With Canoe, your event becomes a breeze. Cashless, worry-free, and simply unforgettable.
spice it up with what we got.
It's time for Quick Draw. Get out your tickets now. We're playing Quick 2, 3, and 4. Good luck!
Welcome back to Eye on the Nation.
Hello, welcome back to Eye on the Nation. I'm Levin Miller.
And I'm Sandy
Before
Brown.
we begin, any other information you have for
No, that commercial came right in time.
Okay.
We were just trying to stall some time.
Tune in again, Kamish. We about to crack the case for you, Kamish.
There's nothing to crack. There's absolutely nothing. Someone say shot to come quick. Y'all stop. Y'all stop. I was only telling y'all what I heard.
Wait, as a reporter.
These are the things that I heard, right? As a reporter, when you interview people, these are things that I heard. Okay. Anyway, before we get into everything, don't forget that Canoe is a modern digital payment platform built specifically for Bahamian businesses, making it easier than ever to accept payments, send invoices, and get paid faster. Everything you need to get paid all in one place, from Scan to Pay, where customers can pay you instantly, to digital invoicing that helps you stay organized and get paid quicker. Canoe simplifies how you do business. You can even turn your website into a checkout experience or integrate Canoe directly into your systems with our API. Ready to accept digital payments the local way? Well, visit www.canoepays.com and sign up today.
Canoe, it's your one-stop stop and shop for all your shopping needs. They have everything you need and more in your one-stop stop and store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See how I did that?
Yes, I did. Well, unfortunately, it's a story that everybody was talking about since Independence Day, and it's something that, honestly, I did not want to talk about. It is just so heavy. Like, I felt like the entire, Independence Day was just marred with tragedy, and I feel like every day just got heavier and heavier and heavier. Is that not how you felt?
Yeah.
It was like hour by hour, and if you're not familiar with, I don't know how you wouldn't be, but we're talking about the Independence Day tragedy, the Flamingo Air crash that unfortunately killed 10 people.
All right.
First of all, condolences to the families, friends, and
all the people that feel connected to the matter.
Yes.
In a personal way.
And even not knowing, because I knew one of the people on the flight, but I feel like it just felt heavy for everyone, if that makes sense. Like, you feel like it just, when something so tragic happens and then you continue to hear the stories, that makes it even worse.
Right.
It's like you just feel this weight of heaviness. And I felt that heaviness all weekend, which is why I didn't want to talk about it, because it does, what we started talking about earlier, it does make you emotional.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you're emotional, you're not logical all the time.
Right. So because of the way my brain works, right? In tragedy, my brain looks for the silver lining first, because then I know every other thing I do after that is going to be a critical analysis. And I get it. Not everybody cares about the critical analysis, but that's the only way to ensure that we take mitigating steps, right? Or that we take steps to reduce the effect.
Okay.
And so the silver lining in the story for me is that, for whatever it is worth, I think every single surviving member of the pawn band, I think the person whose concept the pawn band was, D.O. Bain, I think you all have something to be very proud of. I'm not sure any other band would have struck such an emotional response. The pawn band has engraved itself into Bahamian culture. I've seen people from as far down as Kidd Island and Mayagona feel the hurt and the anxiety at the thought of losing that whole band, because that was what was reported at first, that they lost the whole pawn band.
Mm-hmm.
And what it says to me is that whatever it was, I remember this band was started as a matter of necessity in the pandemic, right? I can tell you, being there with that band in the early days, I don't think they thought it would grow to this. You follow me? And the porn band is synoptic almost with what is Bahamian culture, with what is bush music. And believe it or not, for a band where I don't think the average member is over 37 or 36 years old, I think this is a bunch of very young people. The people that have preceded them in the industry, I don't think can take credit for having woven themselves into the fabric of the Bahamian culture, like the porn band has done over the last 6 years.
I don't want to get into that conversation because I can agree and disagree with some of that. I think that there are other bands in the country as well that have done a lot for Bahamian culture. So I don't want to, in mourning the porn band, dismiss some of the things that other bands
I talked about my shock, like they were like it's a 5-year-old band.
I get it. I know for me, in what I felt had nothing to do with them as a band. I think for me it had to do with them as individuals and hearing the individual stories and just reading the testimonials and the stuff that people were writing about them on social media as individuals, not necessarily as a band, as individuals as well. I think for even people who had no idea who the porn band was and had no idea who they were individually, they still felt the hurt that this accident occurred and these relatively young, we can say, people passed away in such a tragic manner.
But for them, but hear me on this. For them to mean that, the average 35-year-old out here is still navigating what is their thing. What is their thumbprint? How will they affect the Bahamian culture and landscape? Here you have a group of 31, 32. I have a little cousin that was actually a member of this band. I think she might be 30, who have literally, like they are engraved into the Bahamian psychology, the porn band that is I'm talking about. And so that was a silver lining for me in that, maybe if you are just simply doing the thing you love, you might actually be affecting people. This almost was like, I watched the movie La Bamba, right? And like this almost gave me that same kind of feeling. Like I couldn't imagine that a band 5 years old dying would make the entire country sad. You know what I mean? And so there was that for me.
I get it, but I still think that it's also about them not as a band, but also as individuals as well. So obviously the mark that they left performing, and I saw a lot of videos of people watching them perform. Obviously they were very talented individuals, and I think it hurts more when you see so much talent disappeared. But I think it also had to do with them as individuals.
As people,
I think a lot of the tributes I saw were them as individuals as well. And let's not forget, there were other people on this flight that were not
members of the
porn band. And I think their stories also affected people as well.
Yes.
I think one of the biggest stories that came out that affected people was the 16-year-old who nobody even knew was on the plane, whose parents didn't even know at that time that he was on the plane. So I don't want to make the entire thing about the band. I want to make it about the individuals that were on the flight.
So I think the band's value for me was the silver lining before I started to critically analyze the incident, right? I cannot in words express what the mind of that father must be like that watch his son walk through that terminal to go towards that flight on a plane he shouldn't even have been on.
And that's what it's so much that came out of this. It was a father who now feels guilty for paying extra to get his son on a flight to get him home. There's their brothers,
to his waiting mother,
right? They're the brothers who literally had to go and take their brother's body onto a truck to try and get him medical assistance. And for him to still pass away. It's just story after story of what happened on this flight that, I think if your heart was not broken listening to this, then you just pretty much would not, I don't know, you wouldn't have a heart.
Yeah.
But, so Following the incident, the government temporarily suspended Flamingo Air operations while investigators try to determine what caused that crash. Now, they are still trying to figure out what caused that crash. I think we have an update on that we're going to give you guys in a little bit. And then that same day, there was another incident on another Flamingo Air aircraft. That people were saying if they had been suspended from then, maybe this. I feel like there's so much if we did and what could have happened and what we should have done. So many things that have come out of this. I know I personally have flown on Flamingo Air flights.
Yeah, that's what makes it real.
I'm trying to be as.
Yeah.
The planes, there are two particular planes that
I'm not getting
airlines.
On, nor am I putting anyone that I care about
that you could not pay me to go on again. Yeah. But unfortunately for some of the family islands, these are the only planes that go.
Sure.
But there are two. Flamingo Air is one. There's another one I'm hearing they're saying that's not operational anymore. I'm hoping that is the case because I've been on that plane with tape and some weird stuff going on. I just, there's just so much to get into. Well, let me start by saying this. So Flamingo Air did end up releasing a statement. I think they released 2 statements. I see you were up in arms about something that someone said on social media.
Yeah.
So you shared it on. We'll talk about that in a second too. But this was a statement they released after the crash. They said, we can confirm that an aircraft owned by Flamingo Air experienced a fatal crash in North Andros, Bahamas. That was on July 10th. We extend heartfelt condolences to the families and loved ones of the victims. At this time, the details are still being gathered and we are committed to operating with the relevant authorities. They said that their thoughts and prayers remain with the family members and loved ones. So they said they intend on holding a meeting with the families within the next few days to ensure that ongoing counseling is being made available. They remain committed in cooperating with the regulatory and relevant agencies during the investigation part of this. And they said they continue their efforts to make contact with the family members of the victims. And they are also asking them to reach out to them and contact them as soon as possible. They extended their heartfelt condolences to the families and loved ones. And I'm hearing that meeting is supposed to take place tomorrow.
Wow.
The meeting with Flamingo Air and the families, that's what I heard.
Yeah. So
they decided to do it individually, so it's not going to be a group meeting. So
I would recommend it not being a group meeting.
That's what I heard. They also released another statement because this was something that people were asking. And, I think it was kind of fair, even though I see some people were mad at them for it, including Levin.
Right.
But people were asking, okay, so the Flamingo's air services have been suspended. So what does that mean for us?
How do I get out of Freeport? How do I get from Bimini to Freeport?
Yes, or how do I get a refund? Or, if
I think they were talking about, do you know what it costs to go
No,
from...
that particular person. Yeah, but I mean, other people were saying, well, do we get refunds? What's going on? Are they going to put us on another plane? Because like I said, for some family islands, these were the only planes that worked there. So this was a statement that they said for people who have booked tickets. This came out yesterday. So all passengers holding tickets for Flamingo Air flights are advised that all flights have been suspended. So beginning noon today, Flamingo Air will be making and receiving calls to execute refunds. So that process will take place daily, Monday to Thursday from 12 noon to 4 p.m. They apologize for any inconvenience caused and remains appreciative of the public patience and cooperation during this most difficult time. Our thoughts and prayers remains with the family and loved ones of the passengers who died in the July 10th plane crash in North Andros.
Yeah.
I don't want, there's so much to talk about, but so much that I don't want to talk about, because I think everything that people have been talking about is speculation, because nobody knows for sure what happened.
Right.
The air traffic has not released any statement. They haven't. I'm hearing that they were supposed to have some sort of update tomorrow. Not sure if that's going to happen. Also heard that there was no black box on the plane.
Okay.
But apparently that's not required for smaller planes.
Right.
But I think the public has a lot of questions. One of the biggest questions I see people keep asking is, who are the owners? Did they get are there regular checkups of these planes? I don't know how it works in civil aviation.
So this is one of the times when I think we have to pause to do this. You recall the interview with the Minister of Aviation now on a tour of the BPL plant. And we remember the interviewer asked about the plane crash on May 12th, right? And if you recall, we said here on this show that interviewer missed a fantastic opportunity to actually ask the Minister of Aviation some questions about regulations. And we said then that, there was a busy regatta time coming up, and that questions like the ones about how are we regulating these airlines would be a group of questions that the minister couldn't walk away from, and that you could easily ask the question about the ditched May 12th plane if you had in fact led her out with those questions about the aviation industry. And so, I remember over the weekend thinking to myself, what if the questions were asked in a different fashion? Could we have had greater attention in the civil aviation area that could have prevented a matter like this from happening? Because this is regulation oversight. That's what it appears to be.
But we don't know that for sure. You honestly, we're not. People are sharing their stories of Flamingo Air. Eyewitness News has a very in-depth story today about some of the issues that have happened in Flamingo Air over the years. I think one of the ones that we remember, the video that went viral with the plane door was open.
Right.
While people were mid-flight. But we don't know. Yep, there you go.
And so again,
but we don't know. We're speculating.
And if you remember, we've had a change of government, and so for the first time in 25 years, we have consistency in the aviation arena, with one government having continuous oversight over aviation and its regulation, right? And I get it. The agencies are all continuous, but let's not pretend as though government direction doesn't dictate how these things are executed. And so when we did ask the minister about civil aviation, it is my view that it would have been a wonderful time, because you remember the minister that preceded her, not the one that preceded her, the one that preceded this administration, had the very same challenges with poor regulations in the aviation department. And he gave great assurances 4 years ago, you can Google this, about the steps that were being taken. How many of those steps have in fact to date been taken? That is something I think we need to ask and get firm answers on.
I do think that civil aviation, whatever airline inspectors, the ministry, I think that there should be meetings. They should have been in meetings from Thursday.
Right.
Thursday, when Independence was? Friday. They should have been in meetings after that to try and figure out, what was going on, because there are going to be some serious questions that they are going to have to answer.
Yeah.
Especially since the stories just keep coming about Flamingo Air and some of the incidences that have happened over the years.
Right.
You don't even need to go back to over the years. The same day of the incident, they had to do a landing because one of the other planes, was it caught on fire? I can't remember what it was.
There was an emergency landing coming from Crooked Island.
Exactly. And I don't know if they listen to the public. I don't know if the public complains enough. I know we like to complain amongst ourselves. I know I definitely have. I'm guilty of that. I was on a Flamingo airplane that I felt was crazy, but I didn't call and report it to anyone. I just talked to my friends and my family, I can't believe they had tape on this, or, you taking pictures, but I don't know if it's because you don't think crash.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. I just think that there are so many answers that people want, and unfortunately, because there's no answers, people are making up stuff.
No, I think crash all the time, actually. And what I'm saying is, I think many Bahamians handle aviation with a level of casualness that is unhealthy. All right? the thing that struck this as
I
a
think
nerve.
because we're just so accustomed to things like this not happening. I think that's what it is. We make fun of Bahamas Air being late, but we say they're late, but nothing ever happens. Like I think we just, in our head somehow, this doesn't happen. This can't happen to us. And now it's happened, and now everybody's going, like, now I think it's like, okay, maybe I should have, or maybe we should have.
It happened. In 2007, I think it is, or 2004 with Aaliyah, it happened. And it's always the same amount of...
No, there's a big difference between something happening because of error, because this plane was overweight, or because of pilot error. That's completely different than, are these planes safe to fly?
So Jessica,
I think that is the question that people are asking now.
Coming from Andros in the 5-seat Cessna, or Piper Aztec, I think it was, hit the water, and we still haven't found those people. That every time we kill multiple people in a plane crash, there is an anxiety about what civil aviation will do. Civil aviation then tucks its head, tucks its tail, and we hear nothing from them for about 2 years.
I don't disagree with you.
And then 2 years later, everybody gets back into the practice of jumping on a 5-seater with a fella named Tom that nobody knows. And I'm saying to you that we have got to figure out if that's the way we're going to continue. We have an archipelago, right? And I tell people the difficulty, the challenge with that is, if you crash on a plane, you are anticipated that you will immediately get on another plane. You realize that, right? Mm-hmm. So an archipelago has its challenges. Because those challenges will not go away, you know what we have to become experts at? Policing the challenge. And I think we have failed dismally at seriously policing that.
I don't disagree with you, but I can't say that because I don't know.
Sure.
Like I'm saying, all of this is speculation. They could come to us tomorrow with a report and say, we check every...
It was a lightning bolt.
We check every 2 weeks as is required. I don't know what the requirement is. I'm just throwing things out. They could come back to us and say, well, we did tell them they weren't able to fly this plane and they still did it anyway. They could come back to us with a report that takes everything off of them. They could come back to us with something that says, listen, or the minister could come and say, we did a report and things weren't done on this side, and so this is what's going to happen here. But we don't know. As we're sitting here and we're speculating, we don't know the cause.
I get you.
We don't know the cause of the crash. We don't know if the plane had mechanical errors. We don't know if it was overweight. We don't know if it was a pilot error. We don't know anything at this moment. Everybody is speculating.
But as we analyze it, here are some of the things we have to analyze. Where does fault lie, right? And I'm telling you that if we continue to monitor the behavior of the Bahamas government in its entirety, if we continue to monitor the behavior of the civil aviation in its entirety, the door drop open, the plane had smoke. The question then becomes, in a civil action, how much liability can the government of the Bahamas abdicate itself of?
And all I'm saying is we have to wait and see what happens before we say that. Because you could sit here and blame civil aviation. You could sit here and say they didn't do it. And they could come here tomorrow and say, but we did.
Okay.
We don't know. That's all I'm saying. At this point, all we're doing...
So
all we're doing is guessing. And then I also want to say this too. The incidents that have happened, were there any... I don't want to say punishments. What was the word?
That's the exact question I have. Where is the kill switch?
But we don't know.
And that's my point. And so civil aviation, hopefully over the next...
That's all I'm saying. We need answers. I don't want to sit here and blame them.
Fine.
I don't want to sit here and blame the government. I don't want to sit here and blame anyone until we know exactly what happened.
Agreed, Sanjeska. Except for if you take the point that 7 years ago, Dionisio Diagala, as the Minister of Aviation, said that there were things that were being adjusted, that his ministry was actively engaged in adjusting those things, and the question then becomes, how many of those things have you adjusted?
Okay, so they have to tell us that.
And that was what my annoyance was with the chap on the internet. We ain't had a working day yet. You have to at least give civil aviation a chance to go open the file to take a look.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I just want, I don't want to start pointing blame, because when tragedy happens, when things like this happen, we try to find someone to blame somebody. And I don't want to start pointing my fingers at people without any evidence that any of this has happened.
But I'm saying to you that it is my prayer Is that a better direction?
Yes.
It is my prayer that the government hasn't been culpably negligent or complicit by its behavior of not simply pulling the tripwire on this airline.
I don't agree. I do not disagree with you, especially since, like we said, we have Eyewitness News did a story on timelines of incidences with Flamingo Air. From 2016.
Right.
From 2016, 2020, 2022, 2023, July 10th, the first incident, like we said, and then July 10th, the deadliest incident. Like I just hope that in our desperation to have flights to these family islands, because Bahamas Air cannot stay in business and fly to these islands, that we're not overlooking stuff because we want family islanders to be able to have transportation, but we're not giving them safe
Because that would also mean we want them to die.
I don't think, but you know what I'm saying.
If you're not giving somebody safe aviation transportation, you want them to die. So here where, again, the reason I like to look for the silver lining is because then my brain is going to start trying to analyze the whole thing. Where are the international regulatory bodies? Because civil aviation don't answer to itself. The Bahamas Aviation Ministry don't answer to itself. You follow what I'm saying? Remember there was a time we was paying for airspace. And so the question becomes is, where are we dropping the ball? That every 5 years, this Bahamian society has to go through the anxiety of losing multiple people in air crashes.
All right, we'll be back. When we come back, Andre Rollins has a statement. We also have an update from the airport accident investigation. And we're going to talk about some of the sad events some of the sad stories surrounding the victims. We'll be back right after this.
Vibes is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the vibes back. At BTC, we understand your vibes because we live it. That's why we are dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You are at the heart of everything we do. Our commitment is to keep your vibes flowing, no matter what.
Bring your brand into focus and make your impact on the nation. Go all in with the Impact Bundle, featuring live liners and an in-studio interview. Prefer targeted reach? Audio plus digital delivers radio and digital placements. Or be seen with our television bundle with 20 TV ads across broadcast and streaming. Call 4-666-173. Eye on the Nation.
Here at CBS Bahamas and the CBS Pro Store, we believe in our prices. That's why we offer our price match guarantee. If you find any of our items being sold for a lower price at any of our competitors, whether that's online or in store, let us know about it and we'll beat the price right there on the spot. No one does it like CBS Bahamas. Learn more at cbsbahamas.com.
We all know there are ways we can help. Your help can go even further. Be an everyday superhero.
It's time for Quick Draw. Get out your tickets now. We're playing Quick 2, 3, and 4. Good luck!
Welcome back to Eye on the Nation.
Hello, welcome back to Eye on the Nation. I'm Levan Miller.
I'm Sandy Brown.
You look dreary.
It is just so heavy, you know? It's heavy. Every time you keep hearing the stories, it's heavy.
Do you know what you could reach for, though? You could always reach for your faith. There's times like these where the words of the hymn, Father alone, will know all about it. Father alone.
But I will tell you who been pissing me off. I've never blocked and
We'll
deleted so many
understand
people off of social media. The whole devil and selling our souls and all of this stuff, you know, I know sometimes things like that is bring us comfort in thinking that the devil doing something, but sometimes it ain't the devil. Sometimes it's human error.
Yeah.
Sometimes
the
people,
devil was busy with some other stuff.
yeah, like we got to stop blaming the devil for everything, you know? Sometimes the plane ain't no good. Sometimes the pilot may have made an error. We need to, now mind you, I do think that we need to pray as a nation. I do think that because it comforts people, but I do not think that we're under the spiritual attack that people keep saying that we're under.
Certainly not for an election.
No.
I can't imagine Brave going somewhere and put graveyard date in
I would like us to stop doing that. I would like us to focus on remembering the lives of all the people that we have lost over the past couple of weeks and stop trying to make everything seem so sinister and nasty.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, let's just focus on remembering these people, the impact that they've had, moving forward, what we can do, and stop trying to make everything about the government and the election.
Yeah. And graveyard date.
What?
Because the people say the spirit of witchcraft, that's graveyard date.
I just really want us to stop doing that. But anyway, Andre Rollins sent out a statement.
That I thought was actually pretty decent.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
I agree with everything, honestly, that he said in his statement. It's a long statement. I'm going to try and read it very quickly because we do have some videos and stuff that we want to play. So he said the government should immediately appoint a single independent family assistance team to help each affected family understand that support is available, what documents are required, who's responsible for payment, how claims should be processed. It should also confirm administrative support is being provided. So he had some questions that he said people need to answer. Who was operating the aircraft? Was it Flamingo Air or someone to whom the aircraft was leased? If it was leased, was the lease filed with the authority? Was the aircraft still on Flamingo Air approved operations specifications? Was insurance valid that day? Did it cover paying passengers? Is there a manifest of all the people that were on board? When did the authority last inspect this aircraft? This is the one I think everybody wants to know. When was this aircraft last inspected? And after 8 accidents and incidents involving this operator since 2012, what exactly was the authority watching before Friday? So we want to know y'all been checking these planes? How often y'all been checking these planes? Has this specific plane been checked? Was it cleared? When was the last time that it was cleared? They have questions about the pilot. Unfortunately, he also lost his life, but people want to know the same things that they ask all the time. Was he licensed?
Yeah.
Was he someone that was working for the airline? Was he someone that they chartered for that date? People have questions that they want answers to, and the more these days go on without it, people are going to start making up
question
stuff
as well. I think Andre's call for, or Dr. Rollins' call for the single unit provides a mode of expediency, right? Because insurance claims will have God knows how long, right? And these people could like just move on with their lives and try to begin to find some solace in being able to close the chapters of the lives of these very young people. And so if we create some sort of an authority, like we did with CLECO and that sort of stuff,
yes.
I think the government can then find out what is the insured value, decide that the government will pay, and then have whatever the back paperwork is. It's like if I have comprehensive insurance and you run into my car, I'll just let my comprehensive insurance cover me, and then my insurance company will go after your insurance company to make the claim whole again. You follow me? And I think that Minister of Social Service, this may be one for you. This might actually be a wonderful time for the Ministry of Social Service to actually engage them in that sort of way.
Yeah.
I don't know how much the government wants to get their hand in. Like I said, they may also be complicit.
Exactly.
But if it is found that the government isn't complicit, then I think the government can provide some expediency in beginning to relieve, some of the challenges the families and those who are left behind may have.
Well, the Ministry of Transport released a statement saying that they're deeply saddened by the aircraft accident. Their hearts are with the families affected by the incident. Andres is a close and caring community, and the ministry stands with every family touched. The Aircraft Accident Investigation Authority, which falls under the portfolio of the Ministry of Transport, has begun their investigations into the accident in keeping with international civil aviation standards. Investigators are focused on establishing the facts about what occurred. This is still an active investigation. The ministry will not comment on the circumstances of the accident, and we ask that the public keep the affected family in their thoughts and prayers. I think we also have a video from Eyewitness News as well with an update on where they are with that investigation.
Well, the investigation into Friday's Cessna 402 crash is intensifying, but officials say it remains far too early to determine what caused the accident. The Aircraft Accident Investigation Authority says investigators have secured and documented the crash site, preserved critical evidence, begun collecting operational and technical information, and notified the relevant national and international authorities in accordance with international aviation protocols. Meanwhile, amid widespread speculation over the recovery of a so-called black box, Eyewitness News has learned from sources familiar with the investigation that the aircraft was not equipped with one. The Cessna 402 is not required under current aviation regulations to carry a flight data recorder or cockpit voice recorder. Investigations will now examine every aspect of the flight, including the aircraft's maintenance history, flight operations, weather conditions, air traffic services, and any other evidence that could help explain what happened. Authorities stress that no conclusions have been reached or the cause or any contributing factors has not yet been determined. International partners entitled to participate in the investigation have also been notified and may assign accredited representatives to assist.
Really?
Yes.
We can talk about that later. And let me tell you why I think, and I think this is maybe something that could come out of this. If you notice, they said a black box or the flight data recorder is not required for smaller planes. Because we use these smaller planes in our family islands, maybe we should make them mandatory for us here in our country, because this is why. It contains critical information. The aircraft's altitude, speed, and direction, the engine performance and mechanical systems, the position and controls used by the pilot, and the communication and the signs from the cockpit. So they wouldn't have to be guessing because they would have all of that information that is stored.
Right.
But because these smaller planes are not required to have them, that information is now lost.
Right.
So in this case, now what they're going to have to use to rely on to try and figure out what happened, maintenance records, witness statements. Unfortunately, I think they only had
That of the Mr. Roll.
Yes, witness statements, weather reports.
Who was under great duress?
Weather reports, wreckage analysis, and air traffic communications. And I think if we're going to continue to have these small planes running throughout all of our islands, then maybe we should make black boxes mandatory.
Or something that
Some sort of
just,
data recorder.
Yeah, that may just be.
So you don't have to. I don't want to say guess.
How many countries have the challenge we have with being an archipelago? I know Trinidad and Tobago has one. St. Kitts and Nevis has the same challenge. So maybe this is something the Prime Minister can talk about when he goes to CARICOM, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because not all of CARICOM has this to deal with. Many of our CARICOM partners are, in fact, single land masses.
Mm-hmm.
But I suspect that as the largest archipelago in the whole thing, the least we could do is say, hey, here is an archipelagic challenge we are having.
Mm-hmm.
Archipelagic cousins, what are y'all doing with this thing? Because we have to figure this out.
I agree, but I definitely think that it's something that we need to look into going forward.
Right, and
because
the best way to do it, I feel, is to join minds, right? Because our problem is not unique. Trinidad and Tobago is going to have
Okay,
that.
or just make sure, do we have to ask a question? If black boxes record all this information, just make sure that they have black boxes attached to all
Yeah,
of
but
these
then the FAA can come say, oh, this is not in keeping with 16,
that's
1, 2.
okay.
And,
yeah,
but they regulate us.
What I'm saying is, I'm sure that there are ways that we can get around it.
Mm-hmm.
We have to protect our own.
Sure.
We don't have these big planes that are going that require it. We don't have these big planes going to our family islands. And we need to make sure that in times of tragedy like this, we can at least have answers.
Jessica, so maybe we need to come up with like the Caribbean CARICOM black box recording unit of the Caribbean.
And until we get the Caribbean one, we could use the regular one?
I know, because I feel like as the Bahamas asking for it, they say, the Bahamas, But if we go there as CARICOM, if we go, you follow me, and say, hey, this is our challenge. We in America. We ain't no highway here to land no plane on, uncle. When we put plane down, it have to go in the pine forest.
Yeah.
All right?
I know it's not mandatory, but let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
Let's get the Caribbean
now when
version.
you go to CARICOM, Prime Minister.
Now we wouldn't have to guess. We would have had all that information stored. This is what they use in times of disaster to try and figure out what was going on, not just what the pilots the sounds in the cockpit. Like there are experts who could say, oh, that sounded like he didn't shift. You know what I'm saying? They would have the altitude. They would know exactly what happened. They would know because we guessing. Because I didn't see so much flight simulator things, and this one say the left engine was gone, and that one say the right engine was gone, and this one say they ain't had no engine at all, and then that one say it was overweight. If we had this information stored, we would know. We wouldn't have to be sitting here guessing.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully, I would assume that we have amazing investigators who are able to, from the scene of the wreckage and from weather, and from
it was
weather,
a brilliant fly-in day.
And okay, I try to help.
Yeah. Did you see the sky that day?
You ain't helping.
Yeah.
I just saying.
Yeah.
Hopefully our investigators, with the information that they have, can piece together what happened. So not just so blame could be placed on where blame needs to be placed, but so changes can be made to ensure that things like this does not happen again. Because you don't want to blame A and it's B, and now we back out and we still have a problem with B. We want to make sure that stuff like this that could be avoided never happens again.
I'm being advised. I'm not sure I have to check this, but I'm being advised that one of the challenges with the black boxes is a lot of the small aircrafts don't generate enough power to power it.
We can have like a...
That's why I say we probably need to make a CARICOM one.
Can we make one?
Yeah, CARICOM Black Box Association all together.
Yeah, let's do something. Let's make a mini version.
Can we name it CARICOM Black Box Association for all archipelagos?
Let's make a mini version. If that is...
It'd have to name something.
The Maguana flight. I think we have a video of...
Yeah.
We have a video.
You don't want to name it CARICOM Black Box
I don't want you to name it.
Of all archipelagos?
I want you to name it.
Oh boy.
But this was the flight that was earlier in the day that had to be returned. So apparently they came back on this flight. Something was wrong. They had to make an emergency landing. They left this plane. They went on another plane. I see.
That plane ain't no good. That plane is not no good. That's God who do that fast just now. That's God who do that fast just now.
Speculating
that God landed the plane.
No, not that. No,
That's
no.
what the woman
She
said.
was
The
saying
woman
it's
said
God
God.
who caused them to get back
Yeah,
safely.
God landed the
No,
plane.
that's not what the sentence that I was saying. People were speculating that was the same plane that they just let the people
We could
back
check the
in
tail
on that
number. What
plane.
the tail number say?
I don't think that I
It's
don't
Charlie
think that
6,
was.
Charlie 6 Foxtrot Lima X-ray.
I don't
What
think
the tail
that
number
was.
on this plane here was?
But they did have an issue earlier in the day, and that was the people coming off of that flight 1 hour before.
My friend, let me explain this to you. People I love could travel on a Flamingo. They cannot travel on Flamingo Air.
I could tell you another one too.
All right?
People I love, and from the island that I love to eat pineapples.
But they didn't eat that one? So there's people from...
That's all I can say.
From Bikini Bottom.
But they can't.
Yeah.
It's two of them.
Yeah. If my mommy told me she was going away on a Flamingo...
Or a
yes.
pineapple.
But if she going on Flamingo Air, negative on that last.
Or a pineapple.
And that's just where I am on it. That's why I'm happy to see that they're grounded. I can't even pretend about that. I'm very happy to see that we are where we are.
And I heard the other ones are,
So that
are
they
no
could,
longer operational as well. I've been on those planes and I've been terrified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I would call the names of the planes that
I invite the population, right, to begin to reach inside yourselves, man, and like let your friends have good advice. Don't let your friends do silly things. You understand?
Yeah.
You don't want to go anywhere that bad ever. Nothing
Sometimes,
is
honestly,
that fun ever.
I can't even say anything because I have hopped in planes. And
No, I agree,
was
I
like-
agree.
And I send the video to my friend and be like, Jesus, look at this plane, but I still sit my stupid self in the plane.
Listen, do you know when I began taking aviation seriously? I left Matthewtown in Nagua in 2006. E.G. Fowler was my commanding officer, and he didn't let me go in time for shore leave to get back to Nassau. And the little green man convinced me to jump in a private two-seat plane, single engine, with some random white man who said he was going to give me, this is the truth, a ride to Nassau. When I got up to 1,500 feet and the plane did the first step, I said, Jesus, this Joyce grand boy, you know me well. If you put this one back on the ground, my Lord, I assure you, I shall never again in this life do this here again. I just go on, like things would have air in the name, like Bahamas Air.
It had air in it, Flamingo Air.
Man, we believe that's what they mean. You see, they have a separation in the air. I like when
We have
the whole thing is one air.
We have other videos we have to play.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to say viewer discretion advised because it's not
Sure.
a graphic video, but it's sad, you know.
To make you sad again. So viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah. Let's play the videos.
He gave us a call. He called my father, Anthony Ward, and he's like, Daddy, please come for me. Daddy, please come for me. So we thought he just had like a little severe burn or something like that. But when we got there, he had no skin on his body. Only his, I wouldn't say on his full body, a little bit above his face, but everything was fully burned. Burned. But he still was talking when we stand over him. He talked. Everything was good. But I just wish they had a faster response here on the island. I think my brother still would have had a chance to survive.
What were some of those things that he was saying to you in those final moments? Did he describe what happened?
Said the plane was just shaking plenty. And all of a sudden they just drop out the sky. That's what he said to us.
We can't remember how he get from that. Ambulance. They said about 15 more minutes ago because he's trying to take him straight to the States and have him sorted out. Because here in the Bahamas, there's nothing much that they could have done with him here. There's nothing much they could have done with him.
I know to see him in that state was probably very rough.
It was, but at that time I had to
just trying to
take it in and, take it in and be a man. Tried my best. Take it in.
Take your time.
My baby was a praying warrior. My baby did love the Lord. He would never eat, drink, or eat anything without giving God thanks and praise. My God is a good, awesome God. Please, just to continue praying for the family. God knows all things. And I pray that the Lord bless each and every one of them who was in the accident also. Heal their families. I need healing in minds. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. I have to say thank you, Jesus. God has been good to me.
God, it's nothing like when you could reach for your fate, boy.
And you know,
nothing is like reaching for your fate.
The friend who waited with him while and allowed him to use the phone and all of that. Said that they prayed together several times.
Yeah, nothing is like reaching for your feet.
Let me tell you something. They the kind of friends you need. Reading that story about how they were supposed to be on the same flight, and he ended up on a different flight. And he literally saw it happening. Like he saw the crash happen.
He saw the smoke.
He went to the site. He was like, we sped there. Him and one person caught a crash.
And he couldn't get there on foot.
He kept gone on foot, and he kept going. And he went there, and he saw his first friend, unfortunately, who had already passed away. He screamed out. His second friend was still alive at the time, but badly burned. He said he took the shirt off his back and the pants and gave it to him because and he was there in his undershirt and his boxers. They the kind of friends that you need. And he said through everything, he stayed there with him for an hour and 45 minutes.
That isn't a pleasant thing.
It is not. He gave him. He called people for him. He let him talk to his family. He called the brothers. He called the dad. He got them there. And the part that really got me was, when he said that other people were coming and they had to turn around because it was just so
gruesome.
But he stayed.
Yeah. And
he's like
human flesh.
We ain't going all of that.
I'm trying to let you sitting.
I think everybody knows. I think everybody knows. I'm just saying that
this is the English word is putrid. Sitting beside this, it in itself, isn't pleasant.
I just want everyone to also, keep him in their prayers as well, because I'm sure that is something that he probably sees every time he closes his eyes. For a stranger, that would be a lot. But imagine. That, that's your friend.
I can't get over the fact that the mother's final posture though is thank you, Lord. Man, that caused my church God flare up.
Because you have to hold on to something.
Flare up a little bit. My church God is flare up.
You have to hold on to something. That was sad. And then, the father who put his son on that plane, and then the mummy was looking for her son, and nobody knows where the son was, and holding on because the son's name wasn't on the manifest, so holding on to hope that maybe he was on another plane, and that not being the case, and just sadness after sadness after sadness. But I think we do have a
the fact
video.
that this crash happened right around the time we should have all been beginning to be having a good time, The good time was just about to start. Yeah. And then now there's so many questions. What do? Do you postpone the festival? What about the people that have visited? What about the hotel rooms that have been booked? Mm-hmm. Because I always tell people, after the tragedy, there is the reality. Mm-hmm. And so you're trying to scrape the tragedy together. What do you do with the reality of today?
I don't want to cut you off, but we only have a couple minutes left. And before we go, we do want to remember the victims of that crash. I think we do have an eyewitness video that identifies all the people that were on the plane.
Deadly crash of July 10th has left many reeling, initially trying to confirm who was on the Flamingo Air flight that crashed in bushes in North Andres. But as confirmations came in, hope for many dwindled as reality settled in regarding their loved ones. Our Danielle Dean has the identities of the 10 in tonight's top story.
While police and Flamingo Air officials have yet to release an official flight manifest, 10 people, including the pilot, are believed to have been on board the fatal Independence Day flight to Andres that ultimately claimed every life on board. Those believed to have been on the flight include the Pond band members, bassist Rashad Storr, lead singer Travis Johnson, keyboardist Mateo Winder, lead singer Tonic Gilo, keyboardist Giovanni McKinsey, Quentin Myers, and non-band members Melvin Henfield, better known as DJ Fresh, pilot Franklin Cambridge, Makaro Roll, who survived the initial impact but later succumbed to his injuries, and the believed 10th victim, CV Bethel senior high school student Nicholas Oliver Jr. It was a harrowing scene as the remains of the 10 victims were transported from San Andres Airport to Odyssey Aviation in Nassau around 1 a.m. Saturday morning. Out of respect for the families, Eyewitness News will not describe the condition of the victims' remains. However, sources described the scene as horrific. Director of Communications in the Office of the Prime Minister, Latrey Ramming, says while questions and theories continue to swirl, the relevant government and law enforcement agencies will provide answers as the investigation unfolds.
The sister remains
of the victims, whether it's in totality. I love to refer that to the Royal Bahamas Police Force. This is still an active investigation. I know that there are so much persons have many questions they want to put to the authorities, and definitely the government and the relevant agencies do intend to answer those questions over the next period of days and then weeks to come.
Christian Council President Mario Moxie, who was also present as the bodies arrived in Nassau, offered a prayer for the grieving families and the nation.
Touch their hearts, comfort them as you comfort our entire nation. Let your peace rest upon them now. In Jesus' name, amen.
The investigation into the nation's deadliest aviation disaster continues. Danielle Zane, Eyewitness News.
Yeah.
And of course, once again, we want to extend our sincerest condolences from everyone here on Eye of the Nation. I mean, there are no words that we could use to ever try to ease the pain of what the family and friends of these men and women are going through. But I pray that each family finds comfort and strength and support in the difficult days that lay ahead, because this is only, unfortunately, this is only the beginning.
This is.
Off air, the conversation that we were having, now identifying and burying and all of the stuff that is going to come out of this, and having to relive this again and again and again. Every time there's another press conference, every time there's another update, I just pray that the families find the strength and the comfort that they need during this time, and lean on your community as well.
There are so many official things that have to happen as well. You know what I mean? Like the meeting with the government. That ain't something that people who lose loved ones ordinarily have to deal with. The meeting with Flamingo Air. That ain't something.
Yeah.
There's just so many official.
It's just going to have to keep coming up over. That's why I say strength and comfort. Strength and comfort. And I hope that the people who are around, I hope you lean on your community. I hope the community is there, and not there to give interviews to the press, but there to make sure that these families are actually comforted in the days to come. And I hope that, people find the words to say what they need to say to them, and find the strength to make sure that it's going to be a very tough couple of weeks.
You cannot find words. Sometimes the ministry of presence is sufficient enough.
Yeah.
And to the family, if you have your faith, it is these kinds of times that you reach for it. Like I saw the mother, all I can say is thank you, Lord. Because sometimes that is it.
Yeah.
That is, thank you, Lord. Anyway, that's my Church of God one.
And may the victims rest in peace.
Yeah.
We'll have updates on this hopefully tomorrow. And hopefully we have some good news, something cheerful to talk about tomorrow. Producer? That's on y'all. Y'all have to find us something good to talk about tomorrow. Yes? No? She said no. She said don't tell her what to do. We're going to find something.